I see that you relive each moment when you're looking through a drawing of yours. But what goes through your head while you're drawing it? Like where you go through the details, but it's not just about the image itself, but what it represents, what part of culture it represents. And I would like to know more about this.
Oh, well, this is how I learned Byzantine history. I was so curious about what I was drawing. What is this lump of masonry doing in the middle of the street outside of Rostra Bazaar? I found out about the Great Palace. And then I would talk to people in the neighborhood. There are clues all over the area if you know where to look. This one, drawing the Hospital of Samson, built by Justinian and Theodora.
Like, do you live the history that you know it represents?
I learn it while I'm drawing it, yeah.
But while you're learning it, can you visualize how it was before while you're
Yes.
going through
Mhm.
Ramos?
I think about all this while I'm drawing it. And the more history I can learn about where I'm drawing, the more fun it is to draw. This was a winter day. I had always wanted to draw this. It's next to the Spice Bazaar. It's the Deutsche Orient Bank. And when I drew it, it had been burned in 1911 and it was 2011. Now it's a beautiful hotel called Deutsche Orient Hotel. But I think it's Gringotts. I think the production designer, Stuart Craig, for Harry Potter may have seen this and created the Gringotts Bank, which has pillars all the way down. But the monuments are so overwhelming that when I take people around, I tell them stories about the empresses because it makes it much more interesting. And that's one reason I did learn the history, because I wanted to know.
Like when I arrived here yesterday, since then I haven't felt like we're in a foreign country. Everything feels familiar, different but familiar, like I've been here before. And
Wow.
I love how expressive people are here.
Yeah.
Because you really see, walking through the small streets, you really get a true feeling of what Turkey represents, especially Istanbul culture
Yeah.
represents. And it might be overwhelming, but it is the reality that Istanbul was always the center between East and West. So many civilizations came to be and sometimes coexist, some might not, but they all have been here.
This was the center of the world. Next to where they've cleaned the well of the cistern is the pitiful remains of the center of the world, where all roads came to Rome. Well, this was Rome. They call themselves Eastern Romans. Byzantine is an art history term. It's a genesis place. It's a starting point. It's also where everything is in opposites. And this is also fascinating. Christian, Muslim, ancient, modern. You know, I used for the cover on this, I used Hagia Sophia, 1,500-year-old church, which is now a mosque, and fighter jets.
Okay, so you see all layers of
So you
history.
see all the layers. This is the Suleymaniye Mosque. And after I drew this, the moon dropped into the minarets like a horse in a corral. And this is just the night on the bridge. You want to look closer with an eye to how old things likely are.
I love what you say though, because through these pictures you've shown me, you don't say a story behind them, but you see all the layers of history and beauty inside them.
Yeah.
So just take a step back and appreciate what you see in front of you.
Here's a good one. Here's an Ottoman minaret from the Blue Mosque. And then this wall is Byzantine. And then this is a fig tree that had grown up. And this was all from the room of a hotel. And I stopped because I was on my way to get coffee, and I never got the coffee. Here's the Blue Mosque over here. So it's the contrasts that I love. And I see these are mostly from the old city because this book was made for people visiting, and maybe they wouldn't ever see anything else of Istanbul if they'd be in the old city. So we wanted to show them that. I mean, I draw all over Turkey.
So there's so many details in each part. But why do you think these are the important things to see from Istanbul? What should someone get out of a trip from Istanbul? What should they bring back home?
Well, it's exotic. At least my home. I've only lived in 2 places, and one of them was Los Angeles. What I took back was a different way of seeing, a different way of putting things together. It was authentic. I'm from where they make movies. It's all fake. I mean, it's wonderful, and I love film, and film is real, but a lot of the things that you see in films is created.
Well, it's art.
But this place is where the inspiration comes from to create the movies I've been watching all my life. This place is actual. That is a real 1,600-year-old wall. That is where that piece of history happened. He rode through the gate there and over there. This is where it all came from. And so when I see bad restoration and things being torn down here in Turkey, it's like watching cheap chrome poured over solid gold. This place is solid gold. There isn't a place like it on earth.